Hello friends, welcome to bisptrainings.com. Today I am going to show you how to load data into IPM planning application using FDMEE. This is activity number 6 and today we are going to see how to ignore member mapping. There are many scenarios where you get data from source file or source system and there are some column which you do not like to map or store into your planning application. So without modifying your source, how you can ignore a specific mapping. Let's do this. So before we proceed further, I like to explain you my source system. I've taken a simple flat file in this example, in this case, and we understand what is what. So it's a good idea to open this flat file and start mapping what is what. In this example, the first field which you see over here, it's basically mapping to your account dimension. So it is the cache 101, cache 102, and cache 103. You see in first three field are mapping to my account dimension cache. You see an account dimension under all account, balance sheet, assets, short term asset, and we have current asset. Under this we have cache 1110 1110. So a cache is an alias and 1110 is basically a name of your account dimension member. So all these three accounts are mapped and form your cache. You can also display them. They are going to be concatenate, add up, and store into your cache. This is your first field. Next one is your 110. This 110 is basically anti-dimension. I can look at this anti-dimension which map to your total facilities. 110 facility resources, right? So this is entity. It'll map to entity. In the same fashion, recognize other member as well quickly. I remember P0001 is basically mapping to your product. It is mapping to product, and we quickly cross check over here under product. P00 is mapping to product, which is no product, and we also have P100. Make a note over here. The whole source file there are two product, and both of them are mapping to products. Just make sure the member exists, okay, before you load data. And then working is your version. Working is your version. You can check over here under version dimension. We have a working version. In addition to this, the next member is the source file is your sales department. This field I like to ignore because I don't have a department dimension. This is going to ignore. In our target application, planning application, I don't have any department. And last one is this is your amount or your facts or your measure. In FDM context, this is amount. Now we know what is what. We can define a mapping now quickly. The initial steps will remain same. You open your navigate, administration, data management, go to data management screen, and initial step you need to do it once. For system setting, my source is flat file, to define profile type as flat file and specify the folder where your flat files and other artifacts are going to store. So I've already specified this. This is on the C drive data source. Okay. Then under application setting, define application setting. You see I don't have a target application over here, which is vision application. Right. So I create a target application, source and target application. A source is text file. Source is text file. The mapping of text file is already given. Okay. If you want, you can create a new source. Click on add and define source as ERP file, PeopleSoft, JD Edward, Oracle EBS, SAP, SAP BW, or simple save file, and define the name of the file. Another parameter you can give new file, and the context global ODI context code is default is global. In case you want to write back, drill down, you can specify over here. So we already have one source or flat file, therefore I don't need to give any new source system. Target, in this example, the target application is planning application. When you click on plus, all the applications are available. Supported applications are planning, financial management, ASPACE, ARM, or profitability. I select planning application. Okay, and all the planning application will pop out over here. I'll select a planning application vision. The first time it takes a little time to populate. I select the planning application over here, vision, and define the mapping, right? So you see that the first column is dimension name, second column is target dimension class, dimension type, and data table column name. You see in this example is one-to-one mapping, entity map to entity, version map to version, account, product map to generic dimension, scenario, year, and period. In addition this, we also have one more member called department. I will load into my staging table, but I'll not load into my target application. So I map department dimension to generic, department dimension map to generic, and this is map to user defined 3. I save it, and you see over here I got another target called vision. And then the next important thing, go to application setting, define the path of the folder where your vision application artifacts are going to store. I already created one folder and mapped to the same. This is a folder path. See the data source vision application. The moment you create folder, the 3 files gets created. Folder in turn created called data inbox and outbox. Okay, as we discussed in the first session. Done. Now we'll do what? Next step, we create an import profile. Click on import profile and define the mapping of it. Click add and define the name over here. I'm going to name it as vision load. And source is ERP, which is your kind of flat file, and target is your EPM, right? What is source? Is a flat file. Define delimiter as comma. In my source file, there's a comma as a delimiter, and target is a planning application. See, the source file has a comma delimiter. Done. Save it, and then we define mapping. What is what? Okay, so just do for mapping over here. I say the first column is my account dimension, right? First column is account dimension, which is field number 1. Expression, I leave it as a default. Second one is your entity dimension. So entity is this one entity, which is field number 2nd. In a similar fashion, map to all. Product is your 3rd. Where is product? Product is your field number 3rd. Working version is a working version. Version equals to working. Field number 4. 5 number I need to ignore it, which is my department. So I name it as department. Field number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally is your amount, which is field number 6. Right? Cross check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. All mappings are done. Click on save. Now I don't need a drill URL, so I leave it. Import profile is done. I define location. I create a new location for planning load. Click on plus. Define a location name. I name it vision load. Okay. Import format, define the one which you just now created. It vision load. Sometimes it's a little slow. It takes some time. Okay, it was stuck up, so I select vision application here and click on OK. Right, in a location. Now we can keep all the option default for now. We'll go by the default option as of now. Next to this, We'll define period. I'm going to load data for F515. This is a default setting I have done. I'm loading for F515 Q1 January. For the month of January, we are loading data. Make sure you have a period, January period, Q1, and for year is F515. You can load for multiple period as well. Right, we'll go by default, and then finally we go for category, which is your scenario. We have got two category here, over here actual and forecast, and the mapping is actual map to actual, forecast map to forecast, and the frequency, often from ERP system actual comes on monthly basis and forecast on quarterly, or it could be budgeting, or budget and forecast both may come on quarterly basis. However, is in your hand, you can make it daily, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. I make it quarterly for forecast and actual for monthly. I click on save. So all mappings are done. Finally, I go for workflow and do another important task called actual data loading, data mapping. So as of now, we did all the mapping detail to your staging. Now we do mapping detail um, from staging to your target application. Select the location, vision load, and for the period of January, and category is actual, and define mapping. So in this example, as I explained, our custom one cache 101, 102, 103 map to my cache. Okay, so I can simply copy this and do the in mapping because there are multiple records. And here I use a comma operator, comma, cache 101, cache 102, and 103 map to my target cache. I can directly type over here. Alternatively, I click on search and map it as well. We can search execute mode online, locate for the member, and map it. This is under account, your all account, your balance sheet, your short-term asset or current asset, and map it. That's it. Save it, give a rule name, all account. Save it. And the same fashion I map to department. Department is going to ignore. So explicitly name a department, and target is ignored. And name is ignore field. Save. Same fashion you do for entity. In this example, entity is 111, 110, 110. If you are sure the target value is 110, or you can locate it, search it. So name it as entity map. I can do explicit mapping. This is not required. Department also I can do explicit mapping. I skip off my mind. I use explicit mapping over here. Tell department is your sales department, is going to be ignored. Save it, and in one I'm going to remove it. I don't need it now. And once again check the entity. I also make it explicit, 110 map to 110. Save this, and in mapping, which if I have done it, I remove it. We need only explicit mapping. And finally your amount, product map to P 000 underscore 000 P 0001, P 000 map to P 000, and another one is prod mapping. Sorry, this is also explicit mapping. Explicit, click add, and another one is we have two product P underscore 100. Save it and close it. Right, so you have done all the mapping. Now we do data load rule. In data load rule, I create a new load rule summary. Click add, define your name. I call this vision load, I'm loading to load for actual. You can load for actual and forecast. It's a single period load. Target is planning application. Select import profile, vision load. Select the file name. This is my file name. Planning, load, ignore. That's it. Click save. It's in default path, so directory is not required to be given. Click on execute. Define your loading from source to target for the period of January, start period and end period. And you can use replace or append because we are loading it first time, so it really doesn't matter. You are using replace and append. Click on run. This submit as a job and process ID is 182 and extract ID is 130501. We wait for a few seconds to complete. It will take few seconds to complete this task. I got an error. We'll do the root cause analysis of this issue. One way you can click on this and debug the log file. That's one way. Okay. Alternate way, you can go to workbench and quickly see the mapping is done correctly. Most often it's a human error. I could see over here the mapping for version is missing. Mistakenly I did not give a mapping for version. So we go back to data load mapping, select version and map it. This I forgot to map. So I have a version called working version, map to working version. Right. We have working version, map to working version. That's it. And save it. Now we rerun it. This is an iterative task. Execute once again, import and load to the target. Most often you have human errors. You forget to map, you miss a spell, double quotes are missing. Okay, so don't worry about it. You can look at the mapping and you get a clear picture about it. You can further debug this by looking to log file as well. And this time when I refresh it, I find it's a green check mark. It means all mappings are done. Look at workbench. I can see import is done successfully, import done successfully, validation done successfully, export also done, right? And final step, I go to my smart view and test the data is correctly loaded or not. Okay, we'll finally check the data. You go to planning application. You can create data form and check over there by creating planning application data form. Alternatively, you can check in a smart view. You can open this in Excel, create ad hoc grid and do this. The shortest way to create ad hoc grid. Connect to your space or planning. Because data got loaded finally into space, I can directly check from there. I have got two instances of space. I select my vision application, plan type 1, right click and ad hoc analysis. This is shortest way of testing it. So which account it is? It is cash account. I can type over here cash or 101. For which period? I'm loading it for January. Which year? F515. Right, it was January F515. Scenario was actual. I loaded for actual. I loaded for working version. You remember the working version. Entity is 111. Entity is 110. Product we loaded for P underscore 000 and P underscore 100. Account we loaded for account is account was cash. One member we skipped it. Let me do it once again. Right click and ad hoc analysis. Do a fresh tree. Account, okay, it appeared twice anyway. Cash, period is January, year is F515, scenario is actual, version is working version. You can drill down as well. Entity is 110 and product is P underscore 000. I find this easiest and fastest to do it. Retrieve. Right. Make sure your intersection is correct. Cash 101 F515, January, facility is no product and account. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I got one dimension extra. Cache seems to be incorrect, so I'll type it explicit 1110 and let's test it. Retrieve. Now I have got data 3090. Let's sum them up. 1020, 1030, 1040 is 3090 for product P 000. We have got one more product, so we'll test for another product as well. To one more product we have got P underscore 100. P underscore 100. Right, let's refresh it and see. This is 1300. Let's sum these three rows. 1020, 1040, 1040 is 1100. Perfect. So data got loaded successfully eventually. So we manually tested as well to ensure data loaded as expected. That's it for today. And subscribe to our YouTube channel to access more videos. Should you have any question, please visit to our site www.bsptrainings.com. And thanks for joining today's session.